Oh. All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. What? I don't know, but there may be.
Okay.
I don't want to exclude them, Alexa.
All right.
Men need stuff too, right?
They do.
So welcome. I'm Amy Shine.
I'm Alexa Smith.
And together, we're Amy and Alexa. We are here tonight. What are we talking about?
Need. At first we were going to do about classes, which we can talk about, but just need in general.
Well, creating beyond need, right?
Yes, creating beyond need.
So the reason this whole topic came about was because me and Alexa were trading one night, and we were talking about how, actually we were talking about money and how, how come when you ask, like, certain things you ask for and you just create them, right? And it just happens like that. So I was saying to Alexa, like, any class you've ever wanted to go to, you've just been like, yeah, I'm going to it, and you've created it. And sometimes, like, not even, it's not also like logical how you create getting there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So same as that has been my experience too, that with classes or with certain things, I've just created them just like that. I just been like, I'm having that. And it's been instantaneous, like really fast. And then with other things, like maybe money or something else, or your body, whatever, when you ask for something or you ask for something to change, it doesn't show up as quick. And so me and Alexa were talking about how, like, well, certain things you don't make significant.
Yeah.
And then that night I was like thinking to myself, and I was like, wow, so Gary had put a post on, Facebook talking about how can I help you, or how can I, something like that. And then not a lot of people, but a few people had posted about you could lower the price of your classes, And I was looking and I was like, wow, like, that's so interesting, because if you look at the tools that you get, right, in, say, a bars class, if you actually apply those tools to your life, you could create anything.
Yeah.
But I was looking at, like, when you make classes like a need, or when you make money a need, it makes it so much more difficult to get there.
Solid. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So what is it like? What have we decided, like, about certain things? So we decide, like, classes, or there's like a certain class we've decided I need to get there,
right?
Because there's something in that class that I need to fix. Like, I need to fix me,
right?
And then you make getting there so much more difficult, rather, because you take away choice.
Right. Yeah.
Have you done that?
I've done it.
Really?
I've definitely done it, yeah.
Where you thought you needed a class?
Yeah, where I thought I needed a class, and I mean, it's so significant, and, like, it honestly probably would have been super heavy even if I went. But then there's been classes that I've really desired to go to, and it just, like, happened. Like, it just was like random. Like, I was in DC last year, and I wanted to go to one of Gary's classes, like, literally the week after. And, like, what I did was, like, every time I really, really, really would like something, I engaged the elementals. Does everybody know what the elementals are?
No, please tell us.
They haven't really defined them for us,
yeah.
But basically they are not missing elements from the periodic table, but they haven't found these elements yet. And, like, it's energies that, like, are part of the universe that assist you in, like, catalyzing whatever it is you're asking for. You can't really define it, but engaging elementals will help you get whatever it is you desire. And when I start doing that, it becomes less significant, and I don't know, there's just space with it when you
and it's like it becomes more fun, like it's a more, like, because it's like if you're creating from need, right, like it's like this heaviness, like you said, it's solid, like it's like, okay, I need this thing, like I need the relationship, or I need my body to change, or I need to lose weight, or I need money, or I need to get to this class. And it takes the fun out of the creation. And one of the things, Alexa, you had said to me something about, because look, you found Access very young. You were like 16. Yeah. I was at her first 2 and 3.
17.
Were you 17?
Almost 18. Yeah.
I was at your first 2 and 3. I flew over from Ireland to Tampa and I met you there. Mm-hmm. And so I said to you about, we were talking about something about getting to a class and about, paying for it. Do people receive more when they pay?
Right.
And so you have had a different experience to me. Like you started younger, so you got classes for half price or
Jane
whatever.
was always very kind. Jane was like, okay, you're 17.
You can have the class.
You come.
Yeah. So I didn't have that. I started at 25 or 26. So, but my experience was that like creating for a class at the start, like was a total beyond, like the money was a beyond, right?
Yeah.
Straight up, like I have no idea how I'm going to create that much money. That's beyond my reality. Like I was not working. I was in college. Like but I had this, like you said, like this demand in my world too, was like, I've got to be there, not from need, but like I'm there, like I'm having this. Yes. Like it wasn't like I needed it, was like I'm having it.
Right.
But what I started to see was that I actually was, like you said, engaging with the elementals. I was using the tools of access, like what's it going to take, right? Being the demand, also stepping up in my own life and doing and being whatever it takes to create what I knew I needed to create, which was to create my life, right?
Right.
And the magic started happening before the class.
Right.
So that's kind of like engaging with the elementals. Like money started showing up, and I got money at college for Student of the Year that I didn't even know was an award. I didn't even know I got elected for. Yeah,
that's really cool.
Like it started happening, and it was like I got to see that the tools work, and actually I work when I use the tools, right?
Right. I'm
the magic, not the tools, right? Oh, wow. So how many of us have made the tools the magic and not us
ourselves?
Magic.
Oh my God.
Oh shit. Everything that is, can we just try and create it?
Right.
Good, bad, papa, on short, boys, yeah. It's not the tools, it's you. It's you using them.
Yeah. And we sometimes we don't acknowledge this, but like we do energy pulls, like without even noticing that we're doing them.
Yeah.
When we ask for something. Like I'm trying to think. It happens to me so often that I forget all of
Do you want to give the example of the guy?
Oh.
Because that's just an example, like you were pulling energy without even knowing that you were pulling energy for that.
Right. So
you can change it to a different example.
It's okay. I was pulling energy for like someone to like hang out with and have fun with and like whatever, I guess a guy. And I wrote down everything that I would like. And then everything that I didn't like on another page, and just everything. And then like I was just like whatever, like this might show up in like 5 years, like who really cares, whatever. And
you had no significance.
I had no significance on it. None. I was like I pulled energy, like I did an energy pull and it was like not significant. And then like not even a month later, this like person shows up and they're like yesterday I was like reading my little consciousness journal or whatever, like to one of my friends, and I was like, this is really weird. Like now that I'm reading this like area of my journal, I'm realizing that I asked for this person with like all these qualities to show up, and they did, like in a really short amount of time, because I didn't have any significance on it. But that's just one of the things. Like there's other things too that I've done that with. And like when we make it significant, we like define it and make it so solid.
Yeah.
But I do have a question. Like since I wrote down all the qualities I'd like, is that defining, or is that?
I think once you're not invested in it,
yeah,
you know what I mean. Like you can, and it's interesting because I did the same thing. That's how I created Mike.
Yeah,
I wrote down. Gary gave that tool a long time ago. Like write down all the things you want, and you can do this. Like doesn't have to be your relationship, your life. Like all the things you want and all the things you don't want. And I wrote down all the things I wanted and all the things I didn't want, right?
Yeah.
And Mike showed up, you know, and again, I didn't want a relationship. I didn't think I wanted one anyway.
Yeah.
And I was just looking for someone, like you said, just to hang out with, like, you know, someone to spend time with or whatever. And when it showed up, there was a couple of things on the I don't want list that he had.
Yeah.
And I kind of just like, whatever, I just, in a way, I kind of like just was like, okay, whatever. I went with it anyway. And later on, I asked Gary, and he said, because it wasn't really
significant.
Like you it wasn't
make your
you didn't really care. It wasn't really a deal breaker for you. And I was like, okay. And that's when he said, well, was it even yours? Like, was it even your point of view?
Right.
You know? So, I mean, I think it's like, it's okay to like be specific in what you're asking for, but not be invested in how it must show up in the package.
Right.
Because really? Is this it? Like, no, this isn't what I asked for. No, I nearly sent the package back. It always
shows up like that too. Like I've been asking to work with like some clothing brands or something, or like these swimwear brands, and this like girl who's doing really well, she like reached out to me, like took me for coffee and like gave me a bunch of bathing suits to like take pictures with, and I was like, what? She just like gave me like her samples and like trusts me with them, and she could give them to anybody else, and she took me for coffee, like, and like if we don't acknowledge when these things occur for us, like you're telling the universe like no, like you won't, like that, you have to acknowledge it, that you can receive it when these things happen.
Okay, I'm just going to mute everyone because someone said there was some background noise. I hope I haven't muted us now. So if anyone wants to come in and ask a question, please do. So you can unmute yourself. So we love questions, and your questions creates where we can go with this topic too. So please ask questions. But there was one question here, Alexa, and you're already kind of giving examples how you engage with the elementals. So Vicky did ask how you engage the elementals, and so
you asked them to. Yeah. You asked them to engage, like what would it take to engage the elementals, and then like have that thing in your mind. Is that how? I don't know. Yeah. Or like pulling energy with the elementals, or with your requests, engage them.
Well, I would love to say, like, Vicky, how much are you already engaging with the elementals that you're not acknowledging? Like, how much are we all already engaging with the elementals, but we've never acknowledged it? Right? Yeah. So everything that is, can we destroy and upgrade it?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, on shirts, boys, and and that goes back to what you were saying, Alexa, acknowledging even what you think are the small things. Like, for you to acknowledge, like, yeah, like I put down all these things on paper and it's actually showing up. Like, just even how many things have you asked for that have shown up that you actually haven't acknowledged? And if you acknowledge it, would allow even more to show up.
Oh, and another thing that Dane has said, it's like we keep asking for these things and then they start showing up and then we don't acknowledge it because we've become the thing that we would like. We've become what we would like to become, so we don't realize what we are receiving because we became it already. Or like it's just we are not acknowledging it because it's too easy and it's too like we thought it was going to be like, whoa. Like Simone said once, she was like, when she got out of debt, finally out of like $100,000 or something like that, she expected like there'd be a whole mariachi band and like all this stuff to happen. She was like, oh, I'm just out of debt. Like it just happened. And it was like a dream for her, I guess, in a way. And it just happened. But we don't,
because it doesn't come in like one
it's your reality now. Yeah. So like you're like, oh, this is just my reality now. Like you don't even acknowledge it.
It doesn't happen like, and also it doesn't come and like, it's not like comes knocking on your door and goes, here I am. Like you asked for me, here you are. It's like a series of choices.
Yeah. Yep. And following the lightness too. And then sometimes there's things that we make super significant that are actually heavy too, I'd say. Like even if they look like they appear like we really would like them, but really it's not going to take us down the path that we're really asking for.
That question, I like to ask, is this an opportunity or a possibility?
Yeah.
Because sometimes opportunities like seem like, oh yeah, this is a great opportunity, but it doesn't actually create what you're asking to create. It just derails you. Yeah. So I like to ask, is this choice going to derail me too? And like, will this create the future I'm asking for, or will this decay the future I'm asking for?
Right. And if you have to use force, I don't think that's ever going to work.
Wow. So how many of us have used force to create what we desire in our life?
Yeah.
Wow. Everything that is. Can we just try to create it? Right, wrong. Yeah.
Shorts and beyonds.
Because if you look at, what we talked about earlier, like the energy of like, if you were like, okay, I'm going to that, I'm you could see yourself like at that class, right? You were like, I'm there, like that. There's something, I'm there, I'm having it.
Yeah, and the energy is always different. Yeah, it's like that too.
Because it's just, you're there. It's ease. It's light. It's just getting there is ease.
Like with Gary's class that like I was going from DC to New York City. It's just like things just kept happening. Like my best friend called me and she's like, oh, my boyfriend's leaving. Do you want to come stay with me in New York City for the weekend? And I was like, what? How is he going away this one weekend that I really want to go there? And he was gone the whole time and I got to sleep on his side of the bed.
So things just fell into place.
Yeah, things just fell into place. And then I got asked by someone to help work or something. Like it just fell into place. It was easy. And then someone offered me a ride. I didn't have to buy a plane ticket or a train ticket. I paid like $30 in gas to get there. Like it just, everything just kind of, and I engaged the elementals and like, it just kind of happened. But there's been other times where was trying to like force going to a class. And it doesn't work, and it just drives you insane.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
And it's hindering to like the rest of your life. Honestly.
Yeah, how much you check out of your own life because you're so in your head and obsessed about how you need to get to this class. And like, if you've already decided you need to get there, you've already decided that it's a lack, and you've already decided there's something wrong with you that you need to fix with this class. So then when you get to the class, can you actually receive the magic of the class? Because you've already decided there's something I need to fix in me here, and this class is going to fix it. So you can't actually receive what's possible in the class.
Jeez, everything that is right, wrong, good, bad, pop, pot, all night.
Oh my God. So I've been like back and forth about this family class, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
But you can live stream it though.
I know, but anyway, I go to Rihanna and she's like, I already know, and I already had an awareness because I talked a bit to Gary about it, and then I realized, oh my God, like I'm making the family class significant. Like, but it's funny because like how much is family significant in this reality? But I had decided a while back that one of my issues was family.
Right.
Like one of the ways I limit myself is with my family, and I decided a long time ago that was a thing that I needed to change. And so grateful for Rihanna for asking me a question the other night. Was like, well, have you already changed that? And I was like, yeah. So you don't really need this class, right? So you've already, and so then it became like this choice in my world. So now it's just a choice. So every time you make anything a need, be it money, be it a class, be it, a boyfriend, a partner, whatever, you make it so significant that you take away your choice.
And honestly, I've had situations where like something like we need something so bad in our lives and we want to keep it in our lives or something. But if it's light to do something different and we don't do it, like the universe always has your back and always has something greater for you. And Dane said something like this the other, like maybe yesterday, maybe it was, like the universe always has something greater for you and available for you no matter what. Even if it shows up in like, even if it looks like it's showing up in a not like a shitty way that you don't like, it could be, it's gonna be greater because you're gonna keep choosing greater. I was trying to give an example. I had an example. I'm not sure if anybody knows Sulema, but this is like a great story. Have you heard this story?
No. Go on.
She is a permanent makeup artist, and she had just started doing Access. And this is a long time ago. She's been doing it for like 11 years or something crazy. And she was invited to go with this hair surgeon around the world and to LA and stuff to work on celebrities. It was going to be really big for her business. And because I guess people get scalp micropigmentation, finish the scalp with it, with permanent makeup. Anyways, the guy invited her on their first trip to go do all these celebrities somewhere. I forget where it was. And it was heavy to her, and it didn't make any sense because it was gonna excel her career so much. She was gonna make so much money. Like, it didn't make any sense. She's like, no, I need to stay here. I don't know why. Like, and she like was kind of bummed out about it, but she was using the Access tool. She was like, okay, like, I don't know why this is heavy, but I'm not going. And on their way back, they got into a plane crash, and everyone died on the plane. Like, there wasn't any survivors. You never heard that story?
No.
There wasn't any survivors.
Wow.
So then she knew why. But like, it's stuff like that where it just looks like it's like this little carrot or something. And you're like, I must have it. But like, honestly, if it's heavy, it's heavy, and you have to go with your awareness, even if it looks like it's like what you desire.
Yeah, it's like, wow, that is so interesting, because it's like the logical mind would have said like, no, this is an amazing opportunity. You make good money, you make all these people, but the energy is like,
the energy was heavy.
The energy is like,
don't go.
Do not go. Yeah. So that's trusting your awareness, even if it doesn't make logical sense.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
The tools are great.
Have you used them?
If you keep asking questions, your life will become wonderful and you won't have to deal with any of this.
Well, and it's trusting you, like it's trusting your knowing, trusting your awareness. Wow, I'm gone blank. I had something else I wanted to share. Yeah. She said, Maria Fernandez, I don't know why you're not hearing anything, love. Can other people hear us? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, there will be a replay. Okay. I don't know. There will be a replay though. So yeah. So wow.
Crazy, right? Yeah. Does anybody have any?
Yeah. Questions? Does anyone have any questions? Please come on and unmute yourself if you have any questions.
Well, my question is, what would be a good question to ask and a clearing to run around making things significant? Because I definitely have this running, like I've chosen to become a CF, and then there's all this stuff you have to do to become a CF, and I sometimes get into that, like making it significant that I get to a certain class, and
yeah, I know that.
Judging myself when I fail to get there.
It's like, what have I made so vital, valuable, and real about, what was it, becoming a facilitator?
Becoming a CF.
That stops me from becoming one.
I like it. So what have you made so vital, valuable, and real about becoming a certified facilitator that stops you from becoming one? Wow, everything that is, can we destroy it and create it?
Yeah, right,
wrong, good, bad, pop, pop, corner, shorts, boys, meons.
And it's functioning from no form, structure, significance, linearities, concentricities, and did I say all of them?
Yeah, so if like every day
out of control.
Yeah, so what energy, space, and consciousness can you and your body be to be out of control,
out of definition,
out of form, out of structure, out of linearity, out of conclusion, out of contricities every day with you, with your body, with your business.
Yeah.
With your classes, everything that is, can we destroy and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, pop, on his shirts, boys and meons. So the thing with this is like, what if instead of looking at, okay, I need to become a CF, like you have your like, okay, you can have your target, right? I'd like to become a CF. And I would destroy and uncreate every single day, everything I make significant about that, right? So every single day I'd be like, okay, everywhere I'm making being a CF significant, everywhere I'm making being a facilitator is significant, everywhere I'm making teaching access significant, everywhere I'm making whatever, relationship, money, whatever it is, significant, I now destroy and uncreate it. Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, pop, ownership, boys and meons. Because if you're making it significant, what have you decided being a CF is going to give you?
Was that a real question or just a?
Yeah, no, seriously. Like, what have you decided it's going to give you?
Well, what is it going to give me? I guess status, the ability to teach other things that I'm not able to teach yet. More fun.
Cool. And so what if you were just willing to destroy and uncreate all that, right? And just look at, okay, like what if I never had to be validated by anyone else ever? What if I never needed a title over my name? What if I never needed anyone else's approval, right? Mm-hmm. Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, pop, on shirts, boys, meons. And who does all that belong to? Mm-hmm. Trying to center with consciousness attached. And then look at, okay, how much consciousness, so if I choose to continue, making my way, if I choose to become a CF, a certified facilitator, or whatever it is you're looking to create, what will it create for me, my body, and the planet, and consciousness 100 years from now? And get the energy. And then if I choose not to do this, what will it create for me, my body, the planet, and consciousness 100 years from now? And for like, it's lighter, it's going to create more consciousness. Then you keep coming back to, okay, am I doing this for validation? Am I doing this for approval? Am I doing this for money?
Which are all significant.
Yeah. Am I doing this so I can say I'm a CF? Am I doing this so I can say I teach these classes? Or am I truly, are they all are they all just the programming and lies that running? And underneath that, am I actually truly desiring to create more consciousness on the planet? Because if you're truly doing this from the desire to create more consciousness on the planet, the universe will have your back.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking for status, if you're looking to make more money and all that stuff is okay too, right? Not right or wrong, just choice. And if you come back to, am I really desiring to create change on the planet? And I see this a lot as well, because I work with a lot of bars facilitators, and it's like, and me too, it's like when I have an enthusiasm for the work, when I have an enthusiasm for, like, I want to share bars with the whole world. Like, I want everyone to know, like, what bars is and to have the bars class. And when you have that enthusiasm, people are like, oh my God, yes. And you don't have to sell it, right? So coming back to, why did you really start this, Rebecca? Right? And for all of us, like, why am I really desiring this? Like, if there's anything you're desiring in life, like, why do I really desire this? You know? And getting the truth behind it all. And then with that energy, looking at, okay, so with that energy, what can I create? And what's next to? Right? And also for me, it was like also the willingness to lose it, the willingness to not make it to CF, the willingness to not succeed, the willingness to be like, okay, if I go, great. If I don't, so what? Am I happy in my life? Yes. Am I creating the reality I'd like to have? Yes. You know, so that's the part where the significance, it's like, are you creating the reality you'd like to create? Right? And every day becoming greater. And then the choices become less significant. They're just more like, yeah, that would be fun. And never concluding that this is it either, right? Because I'm always in question of like, do I continue to be a CF? Do I continue to, you know, whatever, teach dance, whatever it is, like, is this, you know, always being in the question, because you can change in every 10 seconds, right? What would I like to choose now? And maybe you were, you know, maybe you chose something in the past and then you stopped for a while and maybe you want to start again. Like, who knows? So I'm rambling. Help me out.
It's okay. And if we're not making, if we're not doing something for the fun of it, and we're a humanoid, it's not going to last very long.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you make it significant, you kill the fun.
Yeah.
That's one thing about fulfilling prereqs. Like, I need to get this class to get to the next thing. That can kind of kill the fun of it. So I would look at more like, rather than like, what do I need next? More like, okay, what would be the most fun next? Like,
yeah.
What would contribute the most to me next?
Get to right now. Like, because all of the prereqs for facilitators are all pretty fun topics that like change your life.
Yeah. So when I was going through it, I just looked at, okay, what's next? What's going to contribute the most to my life right now? And what's the thing that can contribute the most to me that allow me to create more consciousness on the planet? Like, is it fun for you to create consciousness on the planet?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And it's like, the thing that's pinging me right now actually is facelift. And I keep going like, facelift, well, why not 3-day body? And I'm getting like, no, take facelift. Okay. So.
Well, facelift is, I mean, it has so many energies in it.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
It's like it says facelift, but it's like so like, many different things.
And like they just called it that to get you in the door.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Right. Yeah.
Like, you know.
It does seem like a great way to get other people in the door too, because they think they're coming to look younger, but they get so much more.
Yeah.
They get awesome.
They get consciousness in their.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, like, but even when you said that, like you said, facelift, the energy was like, whoa, like what can you create with that?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because it's like, that's following the energy. Like that doesn't make sense, right? You would think, no, I need to take the next class would be 3-day body. Like, but facelift is calling you because there may be an energy there that allows you to create something else with that in the world, right?
Yeah.
And how much that then can contribute to you also going out and creating more consciousness on the planet.
Yep.
So one of my favorite questions every day is, where is my energy required today to create more consciousness, more money, and more possibilities on the planet right away?
I love that.
Mm-hmm. I ask that every day. Show me, universe, show me. Where can I create more consciousness today? Like, where's my energy required?
That's beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome. And also take time out of it. Like, what if time wasn't real? Because when we add time in, we make this like panic. We put this panic into our like, well, I have to get there by next August or by next September or whatever. And then we start, limiting ourselves based on time. Anyone else? What's that? That's funny. Facelift has been pinging me for the past month. Yeah. That's funny. I create a lot with facelift classes. I get asked to teach a facelift class a lot.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and bars. So
that's awesome, Albana.
Well, she's saying the next thing, my father offered a substantial amount of money, which hadn't done for over 15 years. Wow. So facelift's like the secret receiving process.
Yeah.
If you want to receive more, receive facelift. Well, there's a lot of orgasmic energies in it.
There is.
Really
I was reading on her, and I was reading all of them, and I was like, I didn't realize how many processes are in this body process. Like,
yeah, there's a lot. There's like over like, I don't know. Like,
yeah.
20 something.
Well, now you're talking my language, orgasmic.
Yeah. Girl.
Orgasmic living, the facelift. Okay, so and so how much does that orgasmic energy then contribute to the creation of everything else you're asking for? Right? That fun, that joy, that laughter. If you can add that for everything you're asking for in your life. Alexa was just sharing how she goes out in the world. She just goes out and like just plays with the world. Like she just goes out and like messes with people and like just makes things up and like just she's totally inappropriate. Like
depends on the situation, but yes.
Well, that's one thing, Alexa, that I did want to, like, one thing I was like, okay, I need to do this call with you because I need to do the call with Alexa because she doesn't know.
Really?
No, because I was so like, happy. One thing I did, that was when I was like laying awake and you know when you get ideas, like I was getting ideas when I was lying in bed after trading with you. I was like, well, one of the things about you, Alexa, was that you are always willing to ask.
Yes.
You're also willing to be persistent about it. Now, I also have that. Mike calls me like the persistent motherfucker when I want something, but I've seen you a lot, like, and you're willing to put yourself out there and you're willing to ask.
Yeah.
And you're willing to receive the no as well.
Yes. If I receive the no, I don't keep going like, well, but,
you don't.
I'm willing to ask. And it's because it's not even because of access. I read this book when I was like 17. This guy, his name is Randy Pausch, and he wrote like the last lecture, and he was like his last year of being alive or something. And one of the things my favorite thing that he put in there about his last year being alive, he like had all this stuff he wanted to do. And he was just shocked to find that all he had to do was ask people for the things that he'd like, and he didn't even tell them he had cancer. He would just be like, can I have this? Can I do this? And like the amount of times that he got yes was crazy. It was awesome. And, I don't know, I took that and I was like, okay, like the worst thing that you can say is no. Like, so I just like asked for whatever I'd like. And I mean, the worst thing that can happen is no, which is not super common when you just ask, but I don't know. That includes asking the universe and just
asking people.
Just like asking people about things and for things, but being willing to contribute to them at the same time. Like you're not just trying to take from them. Like,
wow. Can you say more about that? Because I get that's what allows you to receive it.
It's like being willing to be like, if I want, like say I was younger and I asked Dane, like, can you pretty please come to your class? It's like I wanted to be a contribution to the class too. It wasn't like I was like, I wanted like I would like to be a contribution to consciousness and all that. So it's like,
so you didn't have the energy of like, I want this class because I need it for me. You also had the energy of like, I require to be here to create greater.
To create greater, yes.
I love that.
Yeah,
Alexa.
It was never like,
wow. Wow. That's a totally different energy.
Yeah, and whenever I have desired something, and I know it's not going to create more to ask someone, I won't ask them, and they will end up offering it to me without me asking. Like I have this like famous photographer friend and I really want pictures with him. And I became friends with him and I just hung out with him, and I'm one of the only people who's never asked him for pictures, and then he just offers it because you can read the energy.
Yeah, you know he's been asked.
He's like,
so
wow,
many
you're
times.
so cool that you don't ask. Like, do you want me to do that for you? I'm like, no, I don't know. And he's like, well, now you have to. And I'm like, oh no, please don't. Like, but yeah, it's like, you can read the energy, and like if you're not doing it from like a space of like greediness, it's like people grabbing, are more willing to gift it to you. And,
wow.
Yeah. So it's
Wow. So everything we've done, like in this lifetime or any other, to buy like the lies of need and greed and grabbing, and trying to get for us, and all the self-interest. Can we just try and uncreate all that?
Yeah.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pot, corner shirts, boys and meands. Oh. Yeah. Wow. The self-interest. Yeah. Steve Bowman said this on one of their calls. Every time someone says no to you, it's a springboard to other possibilities, unless you buy the story of how unfair it is.
I think I read that recently on Facebook. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
I love that. So how many of us think that like we actually need like the classes, or we need the money, or we need whatever, like to fix us, like out of self-interest, rather than like of actually looking at what can we actually contribute with this? Like how much consciousness can we create on the planet?
Right. And the last part of what Steve said, that is so important. If we function from like how unfair it is and like go into the feelings,
you're the victim.
Yeah, if we go into the feelings, like we're not going to have that greater thing that the universe has in mind, even though we think that thing that we desire is the best thing. So we're like stopping ourselves from getting the other better thing that might be even greater than
because when every door
originally wanted,
when every door is shut in your face, like if a door shuts in your face, is another door that could be there opening. Like the universe could be like over here, but you're like no.
Yeah. So sitting in the sadness is not going to get you anywhere, because you create your reality. Your point of view creates your reality.
Well, Renata said, would an infinite being ever need something?
No,
an infinite being would never need anything. It's our minds that creates the need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's a lie. Yeah. It's not true, but we buy the need as real and true. And how much do we create? How much do we invent need? Right. So what invention are we using to create the need we're choosing? As if like, if we create need, then we have a reason and justification to choose what we're choosing, rather than we just want to choose it.
Right. Oh my God.
So how many people create problems? So how many of you create problems to choose like the next thing? Like you'll only change or choose when you have a problem. Like I'll go to the body, I'll create a problem with my body so I can justify going to a body class, like rather than like actually just choosing a body class, because it adds more to your life.
Awareness. Oh God.
Or I'll create money problems so I can go to money classes.
Oh my God.
Like so what if you didn't need a problem to choose? Like what if you could just choose?
I am someone who has created from disaster before. Like I'm like, well, now I have to choose something different, because like I made such a pile of shit over here that like I'm forcing myself to change this because it's so bad at this point that I have to.
And that's where we create
instead of just following the energy from the get-go and just like
your body whispered to you last year to take a body class, but you didn't listen, right? And you didn't listen, and then a year later your body's like created some like, I don't know, crazy shit in your body for you. So finally you're like, okay, I'll go to the body class,
Yeah, now you got hit by a car and ran over by a semi truck, and now you have to
go get the body work. That's crazy. Wow. So everything that is, everywhere we have been and done that, and everywhere we're still playing that out in our lives. Can we just try and create it? Yes. Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, corner shirts, boys, meands. And like, so if we were truly being the infinite being that we are with infinite possibilities, we would just choose for the fun of it.
Right.
And choose with the likenesses, like whatever like is like fun and light, and let's go.
Yep.
So what if we could just start being that more?
Yeah, that'd be more fun than functioning from need.
So does anyone else have a question? Guys, we're coming kind of towards the end, so if anyone else has a question, please pop in. Pop in now or forever. Hold your question. Renata, are you okay, love? You're good? Yeah? Anyone else? Do we have anything else you want to end with, Alexa? Any other little gems? I would also say one of my favorites is don't wait for the money to create.
Yeah.
Choose and then choose first and then create. Like basically, like I never had the money for anything before I chose it. Like I didn't come to America with money when I moved here.
Yeah.
Like I pretty much had no money to my name. And I moved here and I created. Like I didn't ever have the money for a class before I chose it. I always chose it and then created it. And that has also shown me.
By choosing it, what do you mean? Buying your plane ticket?
Well, I would
just like, I'm going.
Well, that's the thing. Like there's times where I'm like, yeah, I'll register for a class, but I'm not 100% choosing it. Right. And then there's other times where I'm like, no, like I'm going to that class. Like I'm there. So I know the choice is like a clear yes. Like, do I have distractor implants that come up, like doubt and like, I don't know if I'm really going to do this.
Yes.
Yeah. And I just try and uncreate them. And I know they're distractor implants. And if you've taken the foundation class, that information's in the foundation class, you know, and then, you know, I know that if I choose it and I don't have to book the flights right away, but there has been a time where I have booked flights and I didn't have the money for the class, but I trusted myself. I trusted that I knew I could create.
Right.
I also was willing to lose the money for the flights.
Yep.
And that's another thing. You got to always be willing to lose. And also know that there's really no loss in consciousness.
No.
There's always a greater possibility. So if you know, like, okay, yeah, if whatever, I have to give up the flights, what else is possible? Like, what would it take for me to receive the money back, or in different ways, right? But I never, ever really had the money for anything before I chose. I had to choose it first. And then once I chose it, and like even now, me and my husband are looking at buying a house. And I'm like saying to him, okay, we need to start looking at houses. And he's going into like...
Because it creates an energy.
It creates an energy, yeah. And that's what Gary said to me when I was buying a car. He said, you need to get the car first. He said, you keep thinking you need the money first and you don't. You need to go get the car.
Because that's how humanoids work.
Yeah, we don't work by money.
You're like, I would like this, and like, I will do whatever it takes to get it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, like, we don't function from, like, I just need, like,
I need the money first, and then I can choose. Like, my husband does from that way. He's like, I need the money, and then I can do this. I'm like, no, we need to go look at all different houses, get an idea of what we like, and then when we find the one, we're like, that's us. We're having it. And then that's when you talk about the engagement of the elementals.
Yeah.
You start engaging with all the molecules of the house or whatever it is you're looking to have. And then you're like, the energy is there. You have the energy. You see yourself in the house, or you see yourself at the class, or you see yourself on that holiday, and you're no matter what it takes, you're having that.
Yes.
No matter how long it takes.
Yeah.
It took me 4 years to get an SOP under my belt.
Yeah.
I registered so many times until eventually I really chose it.
Mm-hmm.
So what if you took time out of the equation and started getting like shopping for your reality?
Right.
Like shopping for like the home you want to live in, you know, the places, the clothes you want to wear, the jewelry you want to have.
Yeah. It creates an energy for sure. And it creates it doesn't have to create it creates a desire in your world. But doesn't it create this like fun as well? Yeah, it creates it as part of your reality. Like it's crazy how like if you like say you want to become like, I don't know, I mean like an actor or something. Like I've been taking acting classes. It's like now people are seeing like, oh, Alexa likes doing acting. Like let me invite her here. It's like you start creating it as your reality, and then like you like since you like that, it starts like being like a little seed that sprouts, and like everybody starts inviting you to do it. I don't know, it just works. Like I don't know. I think it's crazy how that works. Like if you're interested in something and like you start doing it, it's like it just kind of snowballs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's really cool to me.
Yeah. It opens.
Like you can go in any direction. Like you have so many different possibilities. Like you could do whatever you'd like. It's just insane.
But you had to choose that one thing first.
You have to choose it. You have to keep making choices to get there.
If you'd never signed up for the acting classes and never had gotten the commercials and all that, you would never be open to what's open.
Right.
What else is possible now.
And I was so nervous at my first acting class. I made myself go to one with old people because I knew they wouldn't intimidate me. And I went and I was like, wow, this isn't that hard. And then I got to like more and more, and now I'm starting to do commercials and stuff, and it's awesome.
And it's opening up
and
other doors,
it's like I'm way more outgoing with it now than I was too. Like it's just like you have to keep making choices.
And I think so that's a similar energy with classes, is that when for me like it was only from me seeing that my choice is what creates, and I work when I use the tools, that I start to see, okay, if I can choose this and I can create this, then I can also create this.
Yeah.
And then when I get there, I can create this. And so the trust in myself just keeps getting greater.
Yeah. And that's also when it starts becoming your part of your reality and you're not acknowledging it.
Yes. Okay. Back to that. So what have you already created that you haven't acknowledged, that if you allowed yourself to acknowledge it, holy fuck, would allow so much more into your life and so much more magic and so many more possibilities. Everything that is, can we destroy and uncreate it?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, only shorts, boys, and beyonds. And what if you just actually tonight, like, sat down and did an acknowledgement list? Like, what are all the things I've asked for that have already shown up? Like, even if it's tiny things, like, even if it was like, I don't know, like the shopkeeper being nice to you.
Oh yeah, no,
like,
I wanted this shirt. I was at my favorite bar the other day, and I looked up and I was like, wow, I'd really like to have that shirt. And then I walk over to like this. It's like a bar with like games in it. And I walk over to this game, and there's size small, the shirt right there, just sitting there. And I'm looking around, I'm like, no one wants this shirt. I'm like, I'm taking it. It's my shirt. I just asked for it. It's mine. Like, what?
Instant actualization. I love it.
It's scary sometimes, honestly. I'm just like,
scary or exciting?
It's like, exciting, but it's like, did someone hear my thoughts? Like,
yes, called the universe and the elementals.
Yeah.
Okay, we have one more question here. It's from Nishita. Nishita is in Key West, or Upper Keys. She has said, I'm not so sure about any specific class. Is that like being needy? When you're not sure about any specific class, is that like being needy? No. I would say just ask your body what it requires.
And ask your body to create the money to get there too. Like, be like, okay, body, like, what can we do? Take me where we need to go to. And sometimes you could just receive money. It's not like you have to work for it. Sometimes it just shows up in different ways, or someone wants to gift you something, or I don't know, random stuff will occur.
Yeah, like what if you didn't always have to work hard to get what you were asking for?
Yeah.
Like what other possibilities are available to you? So, Nishita, I would just ask your body, like, what's next? You know, what body, where would you like to go next? What would create more for you and create more consciousness on the planet? And I love to always ask, what will contribute most to me, to my body, and to expanding consciousness on the planet? And then your body will show you, you know, and it'll just ping. It'll be like, there. And sometimes also it's not loud. So, you know, like paying attention to like the whispers of consciousness and the whispers of possibilities, like they're whispers, basically.
Yeah.
Like they're just like a feather touch, you know? And that's when we were talking about earlier, like you hear the feather touch and it's like, go here. And then you don't listen, you know? And then after a while, your body's screaming at you. So what if you quieten, you know, what whispers is your body giving you that you haven't been listening to? That if you actually started to listen to, would allow a lot more joy in your life, a lot more fun, a lot more space. Wow, everything that is, and anything doesn't allow you to actually know, be, perceive, and receive that, can we destroy and uncreate it?
Right, wrong, good, bad, fuck, what, all nine, boy shorts and beyonds.
The elementals aren't loud, are they?
Nope.
No, they're pretty quiet.
They're pretty silent.
So pay attention to the subtle whispers, you know, and nothing ever shows up the way you think it will either. And it's never logical, you know, right?
No,
No.
as much as we would like for it to be.
Yeah, we'd love it so much, but that's why we get our bars run. We blow up our logical mind and we become open to knowing, being, perceiving, and receiving.
Mm-hmm.
So, Alexa, any last questions? We will start wrapping it up. Me and Alexa do have a foundation class coming up together.
In Florida, it's sunny. It's
sunny.
It's sunny.
It's really
hot out, but if you go in the water, it feels really good.
We do have a really gorgeous location. It's on the beach. It's a beautiful hotel, Delray Sands, literally on the beach. So we'll get to play in the sand with the ocean, play with the elementals, and it's 4 days, and it's August the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Yeah. And we'll have
Delray
a bars
Beach
class the day before if anybody needs a bars class.
So if anybody wants to jump on it into 5 days of consciousness and magic, like really creating magic. So thank you so much. We're going to send out the recordings And the replay, do you have anything else you need to say?
If we're not friends on Facebook, please add me.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah. Yeah.
We want more friends.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for an awesome call. You guys are amazing.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for choosing more consciousness.
More play, more fun.
Yeah.
Less significance, less need.
Yeah, let's like create more.
Let's just go out in the world and have way too much fun and be so inappropriate and have everyone judge us and not care.
Yes.
Yay! And drink frozen cocktails, because you can.
Yes.
All right. If you want to come to Florida, I'll make you some frozen cocktails.
Yeah.
You're all invited to the cocktail party.
Yes.
And Alexa may take your photo as well.
Oh yeah, I'm starting to do portraits now.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants portraits and we're at a class together, let me know. I just bought a really expensive camera.
All right, ladies, gentlemen, thanks for being here.
Bye, guys.
1 second, I'll unmute you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming.
Amazing.
So great.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.